Absolutely.
This money is going to come in, it's going to go into a line item. It's going to go into a line item that's going to say playground. So, and then you're still, since it is your property, you're still going to have to go through the process of selection that you would for any normal government bid. So you're going to have to go and, with this big a number, you're going to have to go and get bids for equipment. You're going to have to decide what kind of equipment you're going to change. You're going to have to, all the different processes that are going to have to go through. And then you're going to be able to decide how big of a project you want to make this based on what that line item is. So you may end up matching it dollar for dollar based on what you want to do, based on the information you have at the time. But I would ask you to consider that you make that decision when you are at that point instead of committing to matching dollar for dollar right now.
Well, if that's the process of doing it, I would concede to that. I wasn't sure what the logistical process of doing that. Ultimately, all the point that I'm trying to make is, I think we ought to assist in this project.
My process would be normally to bring that to the building committee. If we're going to change our grounds like that, the building committee would then, pass it to the full board.
And then you could see if we wanted to do some
Yeah, that's a good point when you decide how much we want to do it,
right.
or how much we need to commit to it.
Right, like
How
if
much
there's
we can
something more
raise
than,
more privately.
For example,
Right.
some of you may remember the Northwood tornado, right? A lot of donations for the playground. And they were trying to build a new school because of all of that, right? There was actually some left over. Okay, so they had that playground fund sitting there, that line item sat there, and then our kids, our 6th grade kids, were able to petition the building committee at that time of what they'd like to build. And maybe you go through that process and you talk to the kids, and you have the kids come to a meeting and talk to you about what they'd like to see and the different types of pieces.
and, like James said, maybe then at that time, if they would like to get this much more, but don't, whether we give some, or maybe there could be some private donations or something to it that time, or whatever it would be. I mean, some people might want to do that.
I think it's a worthy cause. I think it needs to be done too. It needs to be addressed,
Right.
updated,
I just don't know if I want to commit to
commit
that.
to.
No, you convinced me. My motion was probably premature, but ultimately, my point.
It's providing good discussion. We'll pick up. Vanessa, you haven't talked yet, so. Yeah. Are you saying we should probably wait on this?
Yeah, because there's a lot of factors, and when we get more details, dollar for dollar is a bit much to commit to. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. So there's two things we can do. We can defeat this motion and bring another motion at the table, or we can postpone this motion. So whichever one, doesn't matter to me.
As the maker of the motion, Mr. Chairman, the discussion made me realize that, again, maybe some passion came out and was premature. I would urge to defeat it, and then we'll revisit it when the time is right.
Okay, so the maker of the motion, which he's not supposed to do, is speaking against the motion. You're never supposed to do that. It's parliamentary procedure, but that's okay. It's okay. I understand the thought here. So, if there's no more discussion, all in favor of this motion, please say aye. All opposed to this motion, please say aye.
Aye.
The motion is solemnly defeated, and it will be something that we brought up. Before I adjourn, make sure that you've handed me your executive minutes. They can't be out. Make sure those get handed back to me. And I would then entertain a motion to adjourn. We adjourn the regular meeting.
Second.
Okay, properly moved and second that we adjourn the regular meeting. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so our March 19th meeting is adjourned at 8:08. And again, we are setting our next meeting up a week for April 9th at 7 p.m. Thank you for attending.
March 26th at 4:30.
March 26th at 4:30, yes.
Good?
25 total.